Hey folks, me again, Jake at Walkie Farm. I walked out the back door of the house and I saw the cows in this paddock. This is the paddock over this ridge, is the one that I skipped on the last rotation. So it's had, good 60 days of, it's had 120 days of growth recovery. And I say growth recovery because we can leave a paddock empty in a non-growing season. But that one we skipped on our rotation and the feed's fantastic. I thought I had left them enough pasture. I wonder how they snuck out of their fence, the cheeky buggers. So I ran down this hill because they were a bit further up this, and I set up a hot wire. You can see that they're all stalled there up against the hot wire, so they can't go any further. Then I thought I'll run and see where they got out because there's probably electric fence dragged all over the place. And I was kicking myself walking down here thinking, how'd they do it? Like, once your cows had an escape, you normally are weathering more escapes and you're thinking this is going to be a real pain in the butt. Well, I'm pleased to report this is just one of those little happy accidents that we deal with all the time. Tree fell down. It's on the neighbour's side, which is fine. It's on our fence. I'll be able to clean this up in the morning pretty quick. Where the cows are fenced now, they've got no water. So what I'll do this afternoon, or I might even do it in the morning, they'll be fine overnight, is I'll set a trough up in that corner probably to lure them back. This strip here is where I was going to move them into in the morning. And so we'll be able to get them back here pretty easily, just lure them back with water. But that'll do it. That'll do it every time. So I can't be too mad with my cows. This is also the beauty of a single braid poor boy fence, especially if you've got a bit of timbered country like myself, because you can have this happen. I'm just glad they didn't get into the neighbours. That would have been a bit more of a bugger. There's no gate along here. The gate's way away over that ridge and it's right in the middle of a fence. So of course animals never want to go through it. Looks like there's one broken barb. We'll tie that up in the morning. We've had quite a few limbs drop recently. And I think it's because, they just drop limbs, these eucalypts. Like, they're just known. It's known not to camp under them. But I've heard a few arborists say that when you've had a dry spell, then you get a bit of a dump of rain. So it's been a pretty dry year. I think we're at 400 mil for the year. We're in like a 750 mil annual rainfall area. When you have a dry period and then you get a bit of a shower, the trees get a bit greedy and gobble it up and their limbs get a bit heavy. So that could be the reason why I just put up a video that I had a big limb fall in my pig paddock. Got this one. There's also a couple more in my bush block that have come down. But we do have thousands of trees here, and so it is just going to happen. This will be really quick and easy to chop up tomorrow. It's green wood. It's thin. I'll just bring out my little chainsaw, my little 241, and most of this will just go in the woodshed to dry out. Most will be ready for next year. I'm not going to bother. I just walked out here. I've got nothing with me. I'm not going to bother unhooking that hot wire or doing anything else at the moment. We'll just come back and fix that in the morning. I've got old mate Whale coming to give me a hand, so I think we're going to be swinging off the chainsaw a bit tomorrow, which will be fun. Don't think they've been out too long because I was down here not long ago. There's no cow tracks in the paddock. They've made it over the hill pretty quickly. Got my electric fence boots. Let's have a look about what sort of impact they've done in here today. Bit of manure that's already been a fair bit of activity from dung beetles in it. Look at that. See all those holes? I don't know if I should apologise about throwing up 4 or 5 videos in one day. I feel like I've gone over the top a bit. This is the capping I was talking about. We have this really patches of really dry, hard ground, and the water just runs off it like concrete. But you can see the cows trot all over it and break it up. Next time we get a bit of rainfall, that'll hold a bit more moisture and we'll get a bit of germination if the conditions are right. And these dry patches will just shrink up. These are already probably half the size they were 2 years ago. So another season or two, one wet season would get rid of them all. I had a bit of a cooker come after me on Instagram. And guys, I like talking about this stuff. You don't have to tell me to ignore the hate or whatever. I've been doing this for a long time online and I lean into it. I just don't like dishonesty. I just block people, but this cooker's gone. You know, I put that video up that we're destroying the environment. So I'm obviously rage baiting them, right? Talking about how there's no biodiversity here and no natives and no kangaroos and no wombats and none of this sort of stuff. There's the wombats. I actually probably can't find it now because I'm recording something and the cows have been in there all day, but there was fresh wombat poo here this morning when I left them here, when I left them into this paddock. Yeah, they definitely could have stayed in this paddock overnight and taken a bit more of this biomass out, but we're really not looking at smoking this paddock. But there's the wombat holes, and we see wombats all the time. We see kangaroos. I see echidnas. We've got goannas. And we've got some biodiversity coming back in with the pasture. Interestingly, old mate that commented likes his organic vegetables. I wonder how much native grass and wombats and kangaroos love an organic vegetable farm. I think I can see a lot more symbiosis with ruminants grazing holistically. Yeah, they've done a good job down here. I wish they'd knock more of these trees over. Maybe next time I roll around this paddock, I'll pen them into this section real tight for a few hours and see if we can't trample. You know, they've snapped a few, but that won't kill the tree. That'll just turn it into a bush. Yeah, they've done a good job. See how they've broken up all this capping around the dam? I like the idea of a few logs like this in the dam when the water's a bit high, a bit of habitat for whatever's in there. I love it how they eat these tussocks. Gets me fizzing. Look at that. That was all polished this morning. That was smooth. Beautiful. Done as good as the pigs would have. So I can give myself a little pat on the back. I didn't do too poorly. Look at that. The dung beetles have been all through that, and then the birds have come, and I could even see beetles in there. Did I trick myself? Something shiny. Anyway, another day, another dilemma. That's okay. We did all right, fixed that tree up, and tomorrow's a new day. Good evening, folks.